So what's your thesis about?
I work on terracotta figurines from Thonis-Heracleion, and it's quite an interesting assemblage. We have Egyptian figurines, but we also have a lot of Greek imports. And then into the Ptolemaic period, we had this kind of mixed style assemblage as well.
That's really good. So one of the great things that you've found relates to kind of everyday life and the people that made the figurines. So can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so as you know, Thonis-Heracleion was discovered 2001, I think it was. And of course it's very famous for the monumental finds, like the colossal pharaoh, the queen, the god Happy, lots of colossal decrees, incredible finds. But so far, I would say there's perhaps less known about normal life at the site. It's very hard to make out domestic architecture underwater, and so perhaps these terracotta figurines give us quite a good insight into, daily religious practices of ordinary people as well.
So I think your thesis is really interesting because you look at these figurines in three particular ways, don't you? So in terms of their production, and then their maybe how they're used, and then finally how they're deposited. So what about their production?
Yeah, so at the moment we don't have the production context itself. So in combination with you, we try to find a slightly different way of approaching what's traditionally sometimes quite a dry aspect of figurine studies. And we realized quite early on that a lot of them actually have fingerprints on them. And there's a new method in anthropology to actually use the fingerprints to tell us something about the age and sex of the people who left behind the impressions in the clay. So we tried applying that, and it seems to work.
So my fingerprints will be different from your fingerprints?
Yes, yes, they should be. Certainly there are quite big differences between children and adults, as you can kind of imagine, in terms of body size, different hand sizes. But it seems that there are also differences between adults, women and men as well. It seems to be sexually dimorphic, so we can actually distinguish men and women.
So these are, when you're making a figurine, then how do you get the fingerprints? Find them, or how do the fingerprints get into the clay?
Yeah, so that seems to be related to the production stage. Most of our fingerprints were actually on the inside of the figurines, which are hollow. And that seems to be, they were using molds and pressing the unfired clay into the mold. And as part of that gesture of pressing the clay, they basically left behind the fingerprints in perfect condition, sealed on the interior. Also meant that it was kind of difficult to photograph them, so I ended up taking impressions of the interior and then measuring from those impressions.
Excellent. And one of the great things I think that you've found is that there's a whole range of different people involved, so from children through to adults in the manufacturing process. So do you think this is like a family business or something like that?
It definitely could be. I mean, from the fingerprints, unfortunately, we cannot tell the familiar relationship between people, whether these are genetically related individuals. But it certainly has been theorized, based also on modern ethnographic parallels of ceramic production, that this was often done on a household basis. So the whole family was getting involved, the children were being taught by their parents how to produce ceramics or figurines.
That's great.
So certainly a likely possibility.